Hey, what's going on? We've got a quick tip for you coming via Instagram questions. So thanks for posting questions. The first one is Chastity Vanderhoof. I've actually known her since the inception of Lone Duck a long time ago. She is on the West Coast, dog trainer, breeder, super cool person. And she asked advanced tune-up drills after hunting season. So advanced meaning older dogs, things that I'm going to do. I may revisit a wagon wheel depending on how advanced, or like maybe it's that senior level dog. I may put them through T pattern, not a bunch, but just a few reps of sit quickly on a whistle and take better casts. I'm going to extend their marks back out. A lot of dogs get used to short marks in the decoys, and so let's extend their marks on land and water. Let's maybe brush up once the water and air temps rise. Let's brush up on cheating and down the shore stuff. Poison birds, KRD drills, all those things I'm going to do midsummer, but right out of the season, those may be opportunities for knocking the rust off that maybe hunting season gave you. So hopefully that helped, Chastity. Thanks for the question, and thanks for being a long-time Lone D supporter. Hope you have a good one. This one came in from Mick, or maybe Mike, but mickhale.abbott6. He says, what do I use the vibrate button for on an e-collar? Good question. To be honest with you, zero. In training, I don't use it in training, and here's why. I want to be able to scale the stimulation level for that dog, for that instance, maybe for that infraction, or maybe that motivator, right? So maybe it's a force to a pile, or a little stim to get onto a dog bed or a cot, something like that. But basically when I use vibrate, I do it the same way every time, right? So I turn the collar on, collar first, remote second, hit vibrate, it's on, slap it on the dog, now I know it's on. Take it off the dog, turn the collar off, hit vibrate, it doesn't vibrate, I know I turned it off, now I can turn the collar off. So that's kind of the only time I use vibrate. But again, maybe to double back for a second and say, my collars, the vibration only has one level. Whether it's on 0 or the highest level, it's the same vibration feeling. And when I give a stimulation to a dog, I want to use the least amount of pressure to get the desired response, their normal working level. Maybe on a 1900S, that's a 15 to a 25, somewhere in there. When I need to give a little bit tougher correction, I can scale up, make it, scale back down, where you don't have that flexibility with vibrate. So that's why I don't use vibrate, other than to check and make sure that everything's on and working well. Bingo, bango, bongo. Hope that helped, brother. Thank you. All right, we got a quick tip coming from West Wind Cool Breeze. It's a great name for Instagram, so appreciate it. Great question. You always send in questions, and they're always good ones. And he says, the secret to getting registered for a master test on Entry Express. Man, they fill up fast, is what he says. And I agree. I think the number one tip that I can give you is have your information saved in Google Chrome. So when I go on Entry Express and 8 p.m. hits, bang, 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 bang. Oh, another quick tip. Have all your master dogs, like for me, I've got 6 or 8 or whatever I'm trying to get into a master test. I have them all at the top of my list of dogs that I train. So I just go boop, 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 boop. Next. And then Google Chrome will autofill. So I type B for Bob, and boom, there I am. Boom, there's my address. Boom, there's my credit card saved. Boom, hit next. Boom, I'm not a robot. Boom, hit next. Boom, I'm in. So if you only have one dog, that check mark's a lot easier. If you've got a bunch of dogs, have that master dog or group of master dogs at the top of the list, and then have your Google Chrome autofill. Hopefully that helps. So good question. Other than that, it's kind of part of the game. You always get a little nervous. So have fun. Hopefully you get into the next group of tests with that little quick tip. All right, we got another quick tip for you. This one comes from _Nick_Daily. He says, my 16-week-old lab seems to not like the rain. Neither do I. But in all honesty, like, we're gonna duck hunt in the rain. We're gonna train in the rain. So the dog's gotta get comfortable with it. At 16 weeks, I really am not too worried about it, other than maybe go on a hike. So if you're just going potty outside in your backyard and it doesn't like the rain, I get it. But maybe get that dog comfortable on a walk away from your home, away from your truck, and they've got to deal with it. And then they're in an environment that's super fun. Maybe you got a bumper in your back pocket and you're working on little puppy retrieves on that hike out in the rain. Hopefully that helps. Other than that, I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's a young dog. It's going to develop. This is a part of life. They will learn it. They will get comfortable with it. Hope that helps. Thank you. All right, here's a quick tip revolving around force fetch. This one comes from Jack_Nickel. Quick shout out to our force fetch program. And I think that's why we've got a couple questions that are coming in force fetch related. So check it out. It is loneduck.podia.com and I think /force fetch, but you can check it out there. So that's where you would join the force fetch course. But he says the dog is dropping birds at the shore to shake, but he does well when he's in the field working. Where do I go back? For me, and what you would see in the course, is I have a process where it goes from a quick round of hold for a few days into a toe hitch or ear pinch. Then I overlay collar, and then I start doing walking fetch and like a ladder fetch, and then force to a pile. But I make sure that I've got collar fetch solid. And so when I like, the answer I would give is I would use indirect pressure on here as soon as that dog exits the water. And so I'm going to give low level stim. As soon as they get out and you start seeing them want to shake, I'm going to deliver the stimulation here, 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 here. Now that dog's thinking, I better hurry up and get back to him, versus dropping the bird and shaking off and leaving it there. Or just even dropping it and shaking off, because when the going gets tough at a hunt test, they may drop it at the shore, shake off, and then come and see you, and that excitement of the test goes on, and da-da-da-da-da. You fail. So, or if you're duck hunting and it's a crippled bird, that bird's taking off and getting away from the dog, and now you're on a wild goose chase. So, indirect pressure on here with the collar stimulation. If that is not something that you've put in your repertoire, I would go back, I would join the course, selfish plug, but I would join that course and I would see where the gaps are that you've done with that dog, and I would revisit it, reteach it, and then go back to the field and hold the dog accountable. So if you haven't taught it, now the field is not the time to do it. It would be in the yard, in the barn, on your force fetch table, etc. So I hope that tip helped. Jack_Nickel. So thanks, appreciate you. Coming from Steffi Stoll. Thanks for the question. This one, it says, dog loses its mind 1 out of 10 retrieves with real birds. Real birds only. In parentheses. I think, is that the parentheses, Kevin? Yes, I'm right. And he plays/tosses it around. Is there a hole in my force fetch? Again, I have such a strict outline of how to get a dog through the force fetch program, which is highlighted in our force fetch course that we did, loneduck.podia.com/force fetch. Would love to have you join it and see, to be able to actually have you see if you've got a hole in your force fetch. But in this instance, I would use indirect pressure here, stimulation here. As soon as you see that dog do that 1 in 10 with a bird, and you've got to be prepared and not caught off guard for that instance. So you're constantly watching that dog. And if they start getting into that mode, here, 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 stimulation, pressure's turned off, dog does what they're supposed to do. So if you're interested, loneduck.podia/force fetch is the course to join. Indirect pressure on here would be my suggestion, but you've got to make sure that all these things are done first before you tackle it. Hope that helped. All All right, we get a question and we talk about it on the podcast, Lone Duck's Gun Dog Chronicles. Find it anywhere, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, on pressure, direct pressure, indirect pressure. And what does that mean? So direct pressure is putting correction, whether it's a leash correction, e-collar correction, maybe healing stick correction on the command. So sit, Nick, sit. You want the dog's butt to touch the ground and do a sit. If I do sit with a correction, leash, stick, collar, that would be direct pressure. I'm putting pressure directly on the command that I want to use. Indirect pressure would be a dog is whining, and instead of saying quiet and putting pressure on quiet, I would do sit, stick, sit, or sit, use your lead, sit. If he's worrying about sitting, he's not worrying about whining. That would be indirect pressure. Or direct pressure for a dog who's mouthy on birds or dropping birds. If you are saying hold, fetch, that is direct pressure. If I say here and deliver stimulation on here, that would be indirect pressure. If the dog's worrying about hurrying up and getting to me, it's going to be worrying less about these behaviors you don't want: mouthing, dropping, rolling, spitting. So direct pressure is the direct stimulation, whatever it is, on the command. Indirect pressure is giving stimulation on a different command that makes them think about doing something else, and indirectly is fixing the problem that is arising. So hopefully that clears up direct versus indirect pressure. We use it all the time as retriever trainers. Hope that helped. Do me a favor, jump on patreon.com/Lone Duck Outfitters. It's your one-on-one place to get in touch with me and have me help you with your dog. We also do happy hours where we crack a cold beer and talk dogs and duck hunting and get you set up with your dog. So patreon.com/Lone Duck Outfitters. Click subscribe. We appreciate you. Thanks for checking this one out.